Hello again, everyone. I'm coming back with another analysis on this time one of the indexes of United States, SPX, and it is the news is saying that okay, we have had a drop on this index also. It's nice picture indicating the same. Um, it is saying that the index dropped more than 1% on Tuesday alongside its peers. So Dow Jones Index, which we had some kind of analysis on that a few days ago when I was streaming, almost the same amount, and also Nasdaq has been reacted almost same amount. So delving deeper, the index financial sectors, which they are big banks, crumpled 2.5% to its worst day since September. So very bad news on United States stocks and indexes. Let's jump into the chart to see what we can see here. As you know, I'm utilizing technical analysis to analyze the chart by via price action method. So I usually use to start from weekly chart to have a good understanding of the history, what just happened, not zooming out a little bit. It is not going to help us to understand what was happening in 2010. Now, of course, it is not give us a good understanding of current situation in the market, but few waves, just as the history, can be enough. I can see we have had some sort of reactions here, but from this time, in the middle of 2020, it has been started a rally uptrend, and from that time we can see some sort of correction here. Let's first grab this Fibonacci retracement tool to see how much this has been corrected. Let's give me a little bit of time to draw it correctly. I can see if I doing so, the price has been reacted to this 15 percentage Fibo level, which it is so important. So let me get rid of the tool. That's the enough information. Let's grab these two to understand. Okay, um, what is this level and why it is that much important? I can see. I can just draw some arrows to show that yeah, it was some sort of a resistance previously, but as it broke, now it is reacting somehow as support due to polarity principle. Let's just extend this a little bit. And we know that this was the 15 percentage of Fibo level. So I can also clarify that it was 15, 50 percentage of Fibo level. So I think it is good enough to have this to know this history before jumping into the details. Now I'm after this, after understanding this, I'm more interested to this kind of correction to understand what is going on. As long as we getting close and closer uh, to the end of the chart, we probably might want to jump into lower time frames to gain more details. We don't want details here in this part, but we want to understand to fetch more details when we are reaching this part of because it is so close to the current standing. So I will just jump into the daily, try to just moving this thread line to draw it as accurate as I can. So I can see it has been reacted. Seems this correction somehow has been in the moving inside some sort of a channel. At least we have this descending trend line, which price reacted several times during this whole period. And finally, we can see that it has been also uh, we are seeing a breakout on this uh, daily structure. So this daily structure has been broken. We can see a breakout as well as the retest. So after breaking out, we can see that it has been retested. So I can call it this retest. And this retest is actually happening to the same structure. So we can see that this trend line used to be acting as a resistance zone, but now it is reacting as a support. As you can see, price when it's just got close to that, the same level of the breakout, it is now just bounced up uh, last week or a few days ago. That's good. That's quite a lot of information so far. I can see if I zoom out a little bit here, I can see some sort of falling wedge. If I can just create a good view of this weekly, uh, this correction to the 15 percentage, it has been created falling wedge, which is a reversal pattern. It means that when it is happening, when the the in a descending momentum or bearish movement, when the, the lower highs just has more angle in comparison to the lower lows, as you can see, it is somehow creating two trend lines above and below the channel, that they are some sort of symmetrical. They're soonish somewhere here, they are going to cross, and this is creating a falling wedge. This is indicating that just moving downside, it is not that much of a sense anymore, and price is just is going to start showing some sort of a reversal. As you can see, as expected, when we seeing falling wedge, a breakout to the top of this channel. Also, I can utilize this MACD uh, uh, indicator. As you can see, we are seeing also a divergence. Price created. This is not price, of course. This is index. We are not talking about any price, but the chart just created a divergence. It created a lower low on this level in comparison to the previous one. But you can see we have a divergence, just vice versa. We have the higher low here, which we call it divergence. I can just clarify it by writing a text divergence. So we have good information so far. If we recap, returning from 15 percentage of FIBO, which was the very critical and strong support zone. After that, we can see that we had a breakout to the from the above of this daily structure, also some sort of a retest. This was on falling wedge, which is indicating a reversal. We also have a divergence on MACD. So all of them just saying that this downtrend it's going to be done. So if I go back to my daily view, this downtrend, let's get rid of these things. I really don't want to mess the chart up. We know that this is a breakout. Let's just get rid of that one as well. Now I have more room to play with. So here we know that we had some sort of reversal from here. However, if it is really a correction, I can count these as, if we believe it is a corrective structure, probably this is going to be our ABC. It is really tough to uh, judge this way because you can see that we have a lot of things happening here. This A, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have A, B, C, very long C, unexpected. And usually this is not something happening in a corrective way. The A is much shorter than C. And again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on C, which created this whole ABC. If that's the case, so we are expecting to some sort of reversal, which we got some confirmation and indication about that. We discussed it just a few moments ago. And now we are probably looking for some sort of impulsive wave, right? We had, if I go to the weekly view again, if I reset the view, we had this big impulsive, the correction to 50 percentage, and now perhaps we actually expecting a big uptrend momentum again as the next impulsive, as the third wave or fifth wave, what it is. Um, so yeah, that can be the case. So that if that's the case, um, we are here starting an uptrend. Um, I can see this kind of thing because, as you can see, it used to create lower lows anyhow. It was a lower this was the low. This one is lower, the lower low. This one as well. This one as well. This one as well. But as soon as we got that divergence, now we're creating a higher low, or here also higher low. So we are it seems to create some sort of an uptrend from this point. Um, anyhow, here we can argue about this uptrend. Let's just um, allow me to just draw a very simple trend line, the obvious one that I can see, just connects these two lows, which is an upper low in comparison to previous one. And I can see that, okay, we can argue, if I do it something like this, we can argue that, okay, this uptrend also is done. And okay, now it has been broken and retested. What is happening here? We already see that the daily structure has been broken, but I guess it is time to jump into the hourly um, section, because now we want to see hourly view, I mean, because we want to see this section in more details. So what is happening is that by drawing this, it seems that, okay, we had this breakout on the daily structure, this big trend line, but it seems that we are also having some sort of vice versa breakout on this hourly structure. So when we reach this point, it will be so confusing. Okay, where is the direction? Where is the trend? Is it up? Is it going to be continue this momentum to up, or it is going to reverse? Actually, this trend line is not valid. You can argue also, you can create another uptrend, another trend line above this channel, something like that, and you can say, yes, it was some sort of a rising wedge. It's as usual, it broken the downside. um, yeah, but I do not believe that's the case, because when you're drawing trend lines, as I'm always talking on my streams, you should not miss, you should not create these kind of big gaps between your trend line and these major lower points, uh, these low points of the trend. So that's why I want to just redraw it in a more convenient way or more logical way. I can see that this is going to be my actual trend line. And in this case, I'm not missing major actually uh, low points. I can see the, okay, it has been reacted here. When it got close to this, also reacted. We have several touches to this one here. And we can see how valid this is, because as long as it is connecting to, it is touching this and river and bounce off, it actually creates more validity. Also, I can see that let's reconfigure this thread line. I've not draw it very good. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Uh, just if I can move this, uh, have a better view of this thread line. It is really tough when we see a daily structure in hourly because you need to be so accurate. Now I can see it is touching this higher, lower high in a more better sense. So I was talking about this. We can see this is almost also reacting to this level. And now it makes more sense. They are not conflicting each other, right? By actually drawing a more valid thread line, we can see that we have a channel. It's not a rising wedge. Yeah, it's a very slow channel. It is some sort of a diagonal. If we believe that that correction to 50 percentage of feeble level was an ABC, of course, as the correction, uh, sharp correction, of course, zigzag. So we are going to start an impulsive wave uptrend, right? So if that's the case, yes, it is. It can. We can actually say that okay, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something like that. But you always need to pay attention that in these kind of waves, never these impulsive waves, I mean, never wave force should enter to the territory of the first wave. When you are seeing something like that, you are actually encountering diagonals, which they are still impulsive waves, but not as sharp as in regular impulsive wave like this is. For example, if we count these as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see this fourth wave. Let me just draw it for you because maybe my mouse is not so clear to you. Um, if we say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see the fourth wave, this correction has not been entered to the territory of this first wave. So this is more regular according to Elliott's theory, of course. But anyhow, uh, by drawing this straight line within this diagonal, we can see a channel. We can see how price just respecting these points, and it is any time that it reaches these points, it is just coming back. So this channel is an hourly channel that has broken this daily structure, and also we can see a retest. So by reaching this point, what I want to emphasize that now you have a clear understanding. They are not conflicting each other. Prior to that, you would see one breakout to up and one down, but you can see how it is perfectly uh, just reacting to your valid trend line, valid support zone. Also, if I pay attention to these, if I count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but diagonal, I can draw some sort of rectangle to see how much it has been corrected itself. It is a really now a mess up. A lot of things on the chart. I really don't like that, but I want to just pay your attention, attract your attention to this point that it has been corrected to 38.2, which is a complete valid level. Just get rid of this very soon because I don't like to mess my chart up. I need to understand when I look at it. So this point that we just had on that Fibonacci uh, retracement tool, I can see that it is not the first time price is reacting to this level. So it used to be acting as support several times in the in the past, and when it broke, it used to working as resistance zone. And again, when it's broken again, it never loses its validity. It is just changing behavior. And again, when it broke the downside, it then again reacted as resistance. Again, it's broken down and acted as support. Still, you can see how this zone is valid, how it is important to pay attention to these zones. These are finding this support and resistance zone. This is almost the first elementary concept in technical analysis, but you can see even if it is the very first, I can extend this also. I really don't want to do that, but if I want, I can show you even more how valid this zone is. You can see that it has been broken, but I was talking about this, that even if this is a very elementary concept in technical analysis, you can see how important it is. Doesn't matter how you feel advanced, how you feel that you're so good in analyzing charts by utilizing technical analysis concepts. It is also this is still one of the most important concepts in technical analysis. And you can see it is not just reacting to the 38 feeble level. Let me just call it out here, as I used to write these things down. 38 percentage of feeble level, but not that, also a very strong or and valid zone. Here as support, you can see it's bounced up. Also as the support zone of this daily structure as its retest. So it was the retest as well as 38 percentage of feeble level, as well as a very strong support zone. So with that in mind, I would like to uh, continue to come up with the conclusion that yes, it was an impulsive wave. It seems that we had its correction. So it is now reacting, and you can see how much it was. Yeah, we read in the news that we had bad days. Yeah, recently, very bad days. It is just bounced down from the top of this channel, but now it has been reached to the below, and now it is, you can see that it has been changed its momentum to uptrend, and we have several confirmation that it is done. If I go to hourly chart, just to pay attention to the last wave, I can also show you that we have a very strong divergence here, another signal on MACD that these downtrend it is done, and that's why you can see it's bounced up. If you also really interested to drawing trend lines like this, maybe I can draw it like this. You can see, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see also that this final trend of this downtrend, it has been broken and now retested, and again it's moving up. So by all of these things, let's come back to the 4 hourly chart. Let's get rid of this MACD. Let's reset the chart. Let's also clean some stuffs. We already talk about these concepts. Let's get rid of these extra arrows here. It seems so annoying. Um, Now I have a room to breathe. With that in mind, I just want to tell you that yeah, in the short term, yeah, I want to come up to the conclusion of the analyzing this index, that yeah, in the short term, maybe we are going to have another come back to this level, because it has not touched this trend line completely, but there might be some sort of come back to this retest point to create a double bottom. That might be a possibility in the short term, but in midterm, if I go to the daily, and if I now take a look at from a upper point of standpoint to this hourly structure, I can, in the midterm, I can say that it will, in the end, doesn't matter if we are going to have this a small return, it is going to reverse to the top of the channel. And this is what we are expecting as if you are a swing trader, of course, you're so familiar with this concept, and probably you are going to wait. Yeah, there is no way to trade, I guess, on these uh, indexes, but probably when this trend line just got broken, then we can surely say that price is going to be move up. Then it will be my short term. It will be in that case my short term um, conclusion. But now because it has not just get enough confirmation for reaching to that point, you get enough confirmation for reversal, but doesn't immediately, it means that immediately it is going to have that. That's why in the short term, I'm also expecting some sort of another retest to this point. But anyhow, as I said, midterm, I'm expecting that this index, even not very good news there because of the recent days, but I'm expecting that it just move up to the above this channel. And as a long term, as you know, usually I want to come to a conclusion in different ways. Just let me get rid of all these things to have a better understanding. These arrows doesn't make sense in this weekly chart. Just let's get rid all of them. Also, this hourly structure doesn't give me a good sense. So after cleaning all these annoying tools, let's reset the chart. Now, for the long term, if we are still believing that it was an ABC, which it seems to be, uh, we know that the medium term, we were expecting, in the midterm, we were expecting to move up here to the above this hourly channel. But now in the long term, I'm expecting that we are going to have even a more uh, strong move. But this is a long term. Maybe we should discuss about this in a 1 year later or so. And it is tougher when we talk about long-term conclusions because a lot of things might happen. We might change these. So of course, I will come back to this index during the future year. But for now, my long conclusion is that yes, we already had some sort of correction here, and from now on, after this breakout and these retests, I'm expecting if it reaches that point and break these critical zones here, which is this one is so strong sitting here. And if it can successfully break this down, probably with a retest, I'm going to expect a more powerful um, uptrends here in the very long future on this SPX index. So that's that. These are our conclusion. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, these are just um, educational content. I suggest you strongly recommend you not to take any trade from what you are seeing here. Of course, you cannot trade indexes easily like this, but I'm also analyzing a lot of other stuff like forex currencies or stocks as well. Do not take any of them as trading signals. This is just an educational channel, and I'm just trying to show you how we can analyzing the chart. If you remember all the informations that we came up, conclusion, regardless of how right or wrong they are, which we started just from a clean chart. At the final scene, I want to show you the exact same chart that I showed you at the beginning that we started from by just drawing Fibonacci levels, just trying to recognize the important support and the resistance zone in order to help us to identify the trend. And it is so important to know this is price action, so that you look at the price and you only by looking at it, you will try to understand. It is not price, it is index again, but looking at the values and the candles on the chart, you will try to utilize technical analysis tools to understand what is happening and what is going to be a possible future. That's enough for this one. If you have any question, feel free to join my Discord channel. You can ask your question about any content that I'm sharing on my streaming. Also on YouTube, you can see my previous streams, so you can add comments, feedbacks. I would be grateful, and I will try to respond to them as soon as I get the chance. For now, thank you for watching my stream and hope you have a great day.